Hello, good afternoon from Barcelona, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, dear beach soccer family. Welcome to the presentation of the 2021 International Beach Soccer Calendar. Be very welcome. Today we will streamline how the schedule for the competitions will look in the coming months. Before getting to it, let me introduce the gentleman I have the honor to be here with, beginning with the president of Beach Soccer Worldwide, Joan Cuscó. Hello, Joan. Also the executive vice president of Beach Soccer Worldwide, Gabino Renales. Hello, Gabino. The director of events of Beach Soccer Worldwide, Josep Ponset, and also the director of competitions of Beach Soccer Worldwide, Ricardo García. Hello to all of you. And as I was saying, before we move on and before I give the floor to this gentleman, there are some initial considerations that we would like you to know before we start analyzing and commenting the schedule and the calendar. First of those things is, of course, the situation that we are. All the calendar that we are presenting today, that we are introducing today, is subject to changes following indications and restrictions that we may receive from international and national authorities. This is because Beach Soccer Worldwide will strictly follow the legislation and all COVID protocols given and instructed by the government and health authorities of countries and regions involved. In this same sense, the competition formats will not be introduced today because they will be decided upon the number of teams participating. And also one last remark that Joan and Josep for sure will go more in depth is that the national dates that we present today are just a suggestion for the worldwide territories to set up their national championships. So we are, let me say again, we are just appointing the suggestions for the national championships. I also want to remember that we will be monitoring your questions through Facebook Live, and we will be making those questions and answering those questions at the end of the presentation. So feel free to write them down and we will answer all of them. And that's all from my side. A pleasure to be here with you as well. And without any further ado, let me give the floor to Beach Soccer Worldwide President, Mr. Joan Cuscó. Joan, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Iñaki. Beach Soccer family, good again to be together, even in this situation, only online and still working from home. I wish everybody is safe, healthy, all your families, all your relatives, friends, all your teams, players, everybody's doing well and healthy in this such complicated environment. Just a few minutes ago, we received a message from Uruguay, where COVID at present time is hitting very strongly. And even Brazil or Paraguay and many places in the world, it goes sometimes by regions, but now it's strong in Latin America, so we send them all our support. This calendar has been pushed to the second half of the year, and I think everybody understands, and we would like to have published this calendar in November in Dubai last year, but it was absolutely impossible. We did our best, we tried in all sense, but we have to prioritize people's health. It's just before sport, just before beach soccer. It's health, that's clear, no doubt. During this period, we have been researching a lot and investing a lot of time. The Beach Soccer Worldwide staff team has been working as hard as usual, and I want to thank all of them for that. And many things that have been designed and prepared will be coming up not only in 2021, but in 2022 and the future, because we are working about projects that are going to come up some soon and some in the next future. I want to thank everybody's passion and dedication and commitment. All this time that we have been home, we have seen videos of people training in amazing environment, in an amazing situation. People training from home to people training everywhere and sending messages. It proves that we are a family. We are a beach soccer family. But we haven't been together since too long, and we are all looking forward to be together again. So let's go to the calendar and see when we are going to be together to be enjoying this beautiful sport. This is how the calendar looks like. And I want to say before we go in a generic thing is, I think the calendar for now to September is very solid. From October to December, I think you need to be taking the dates and the places a little bit more carefully, because of course there is a little bit more of difficulties in having exact dates and exact places. But let's go to it. We will start Intercup in St. Petersburg. This tournament has been in past also a very good experience for training, for joining clubs and national teams. So we will be there again very soon in 9 days. Then we will go to Concacaf Qualifier, the Concacaf Beach Soccer Championship in Costa Rica. After that, we will have CONMEBOL Qualifier in Brazil. And then after that, following same time, most of it, it's the qualifier in Africa that will be CAF qualifier that will be in Senegal. These are the 3 qualifiers happening in May, and I think only CONMEBOL one maybe could happen a little bit later, but this is the exact date that we have from now. Then there will be the Virginia Beach event in June, and following that, starting just after, it will be the European League. The European League will start very strongly with Group A and women. Okay, so we will be in Nazareth, the beautiful city of Nazareth, enjoying that environment. That is our home in Europe, and for sure we will have a great event. After that, we will have the European qualifier. Let me say the date is 100% until now. This is what we have. We have one venue that is 90% agreed. We cannot make it public because we haven't signed the contract yet, and we do not want to create the expectation. In case this venue doesn't work, we have 2 more venues ready to be endorsing the event. So we, from Beach Soccer Worldwide, we can grant you that this event is going to happen. This is the exact date and the exact country and city. We will be, I hope we will be able to publish in the next week, 10 days. After this event, we will have the official draw of the FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup in Moscow. That's the 8th of July. This date has not been official by FIFA, but this is the day already requested by the LOC, and we have been looking at the FIFA calendar. It looks good, so most likely this is the date of the draw. After that, One day after Major Cup, we'll be again playing with youth in Figueira da Foz. Then we will have Euro winners, the European club tournament in Nazaré again. I want to make sure everybody knows that 10th and 11th are dates that most likely will be needed for teams to practice or travel to Euro winners. So make sure that in your planning there is no use of 10th and 11th of July. Euro winners, again, it will be men and women, and we expect to have a good number of teams coming up. The environment, thanks to the vaccine and the new progress that we are having, makes us think that in these dates we will be able to be together in a much better environment than we did last year. Then we will have Morocco, as usual in Agadir. Then we will have an event in Kiev, in Ukraine. I want to thank the people of Kiev for helping us in setting up this tournament. We agreed already it was going to be part of the league, but then it was not fitting correctly with our program, trying to make teams play the number of tournaments that we consider correct. And we moved this tournament to be an exhibition event, so it will be the Kiev Beach Soccer Cup. After that, we will go to Moldova. Everybody, I think, has seen this amazing stadium in Moldova, and we will have the European League Group B. I think everybody would like to be in Moldova, even Group A, because the stadium is, we have not visited yet, but everybody is dreaming to visit that permanent stadium that looks awesome. And then one of the new things coming up is a women tournament. I would say a World Cup test event with the women teams in Moscow at the World Cup Stadium. This is our commitment with the LOC. We have been talking with FIFA as well, and it is a promising tournament, and we like that it happens just before the World Cup to promote women beach soccer. And then the FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup in Moscow, 19th to 29th. This is 100%. It's there's been some doubts, of course, normal, COVID, WADA, all the situations, challenges of qualifiers. People were like, is it going to happen? Yes, it's going to happen. It will happen. And the preparations are fantastic. The stadium at Luzhniki is going to be fantastic. The organization, as always in Russia, it will be perfect. And we hope that the environment allows us to be with good crowds and all fans joining us in this event that is promising to be very unique. From there, we will move to European League Super Final in Figueira da Foz. We already have the commitment from the city to do the event, so we plan the event to be happening this year, men and women, because women will have their super final as well. And the promotional part of Group B will happen as well. Then we move to World Winners' Cup. You know, this is one of our babies. We have a lot of care for it. We want this baby to grow a lot. We know that many teams around the world, I was talking yesterday with teams in Africa, asking if they can join. Of course you can join, everybody can join. This is an open event to teams all over the world. You are very welcome to join, men, women, whatever. come, we will make a tournament bigger and bigger every year. We spoke with our friends in Bahamas, and they have a plan to do an event at the World Cup Stadium in October, an invitational tournament, or maybe a regional tournament with international teams. From that event, we will move to Dubai in November. I think this date is not so solid. Maybe it's a little bit later, because we are trying to make a much larger project in Dubai, and maybe the event will be a 2 weeks or longer project. And in this case, maybe we have to move a little bit the date. But can you imagine being in Dubai during Expo 2020 that happens in 21? It will be an amazing experience for people to join there and celebrate both things, Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup and Expo 2020. From there, CONMEBOL is organizing Copa Libertadores. And recently we signed an agreement with WAF, and we are considering to have an event, first event together, Beach Soccer Worldwide and WAF in Jordan. This is an area that the sport is growing very fast and players are developing a lot. So we have a lot of faith that this agreement with WAF is going to be very positive for the sport. And then we have a commitment from Rio de Janeiro to do a relevant, very relevant international clubs event. And this is planned to be 15th to 19th of December. And last but not least, we place here Mundialito of Clubs in Moscow, although I will try to move the event by late October, November, because I think in the scenario of the calendar, it fits a little bit better. So this is the calendar that you were expecting, that we were expecting as well. And here it is for all of us to enjoy and be together. Not everywhere, but in most of the places, as many as possible. Thank you very much. I give the floor to Iñaki again.
Thanks a lot, Joan, for such a comprehensive explanation and this quick journey all around the world. Now it's time to give the floor to Director of Events of Beach Soccer Worldwide, Josep Ponset, that will give us some more insight in some of the aspects, the key aspects of these competitions. So, Josep, all yours.
Hello everyone. Hello, Beach Soccer community. And in this slide, we would like to, we included the weekends from May to September that the national championship can be organized, mainly in the European summer. As you can realize, there are a wide dates that are for the national championship. As Joan mentioned before, we kindly ask you to all the European countries to not organize national championship in July 10th and 11th, as we will have the official trainings for the Euro Winners Cup. Beside of these two remarks, let me just explain you mainly some details of the qualifiers. So of the qualifiers and the other events as well. In April, as Joan said before, we have the Inter Cup St. Petersburg that will include two national teams, Russia and Belarus, and several Russian clubs. Then in May, we will have 3 qualifiers. And good mention to say that in Concacaf, we will have 12 national teams. The draw has been done. The event will be made in Costa Rica, and the best 2 teams will qualify for the World Cup. Then CONMEBOL Eliminatorias Mundial FIFA de Fútbol Playa will be all the teams will participate, 10 teams, and the top three will qualify for Russia. And finally, we have the Beach Soccer African Cup of Nations. Right now, they are playing the preliminary rounds. 7 teams are qualified already, and on April 22nd, the draw will be made, and the event will be made at the end of May in Senegal. Besides of that, in June, we will explain later on the Euro Beach Soccer League competition format, the objective, and also, as we say before, we are launching as well the Women's Euro Beach Soccer League. Also, in the FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup Qualifier Europe, the top 4 teams will qualify for the World Cup in Russia. Afterwards, we have the Major Cup, as we say before, fully sanctioned by Beach Soccer Worldwide. And then 1 week, we will have the Euro Winners' Cup. Then we will have 2 weekends of the Beach Soccer Worldwide Tours, 2 Beach Soccer Worldwide Tours, 2 Beach Soccer Worldwide Tours in Kiev and Morocco, and 4 teams will participate at this event. Then in August, we will have the Women's International Competition, first edition, great event at the World Cup Stadium, and then we will have the World Cup. Afterwards, we'll have the super final, promotional final of the Euro Beach Soccer League, and in women as well, as Joan said before, so it's a great step for the sport. And in October, we will have the World Winners' Cup in Alanya. We will expect a lot of worldwide clubs teams involved in these great competitions, and we will come back to Bahamas for the great stadium that we have in Bahamas. The Bahamas Football Federation have it there, so it will be great. And just finishing November in Dubai with the top 8 national teams involved and several activities as well. And also we are expecting to have the World Beach Soccer Championship with the West Asian Member Association national teams involved. And finally, at the end of November, the Copa Libertadores organized by CONMEBOL, International Clubs event in Rio de Janeiro, good project, and also the Mundial of Clubs. Besides of that, I would like as well, let's go to the next slide. We would like to mention several aspects of the Euro Beach Soccer League. First of all, the format is the same format of the previous World Cup years. So each national team will play in one regular phase event and the super final and promotional final if they qualify. So this is important. We built the competition format according to the same with the same format of the World Cup years. So the regular phase competition format in Division A in Nazaré, the objective is to include all the 12 teams. And besides to have 3 days of competition, we are expecting to have 5 days of competition with 2 groups of 6 teams each group. And in Chisinau, with the expectation to have 16 teams, we are expecting to organize the event with 4 groups of 4 teams, semifinals and finals. Then one important remark is that in Nazaré, we decide to increase, in Nazaré means in the Euro Beach Soccer League, Nazaré, we decide to increase the roster of each team to 14 players and 12 players playing in each match due to the proximity of the qualifier in order to reduce the risk of injuries. And the other remark that I would like to mention is that the teams will lose their status if they don't participate at the regular stage. When we say valid in a valid reason, only COVID-19 governmental restriction will be considered a valid reason. This is important to mention, okay? And we are kindly ask you, all the national teams follow this restriction. So, and finally, we are happy to announce the Women's Euro Beach Soccer League. As you can see behind, we have the ANOC World Beach Games as well pictured. That let me inform you as well that ANOC is planning to organize, of course, the second edition of the World Beach Games. But referring to these competitions, we are happy to announce the Women's Euro Beach Soccer League 2021 that the format will be similar as men. So one regular phase in Nazaré that we are expecting. Let's place the yes. Yeah, we can. Yes, that we are expecting one regular phase and the super final in Figueira da Foz. And we are expecting to have minimum of 8 teams in Nazaré, organizing by 2 groups of 4 teams each group. And then the qualified teams will play in Figueira da Foz. So this is all the remarks that so far we can provide you. And I give the floor to Iñaki again.
Thanks a lot, Josep. And thanks a lot to both of you for the presentation. Now it's time to open the question and answers stage, which I would like to remind all of our audience that these 4 gentlemen and even myself are happy to answer your questions, not only Joan and Josep who spoke today, but if you have any questions to Ricardo García or Gabino Renales, we are happy to answer them. We have already the first ones coming. The first one, I guess, is for either for Joan or Josep, whoever you guys feel comfortable. It's from our friends from Rostock-Robben in Germany. They asked if the Nazaré Cup will not take place this year, so meaning that all registered teams will go directly to Euro Winners' Cup.
You allowed me to, yeah, okay. So yes, we decide to compile the Euro Winners' Cup in 1 week. So all teams will play during this week. Of course, that we're taking, we will analyze the champions of each league in order to place in a seeding position. But yes, the event will be organized in 1 week with all the champions and the other teams and all the teams from Europe, and we will compile the competition in 1 week.
Okay, thank you, Josep. I guess the next question is also for you. It's a pretty technical one. It's coming from our friend, sorry for the pronunciation, Ricardo from Poland, who asks if we have any idea of when the EBSL groups will be announced.
Yeah, first of all, after this session, we will send the invitation letters to all the member associations. After, when we know the number of teams registered, then according to the previous year's standings, we will compose the groups accordingly.
Okay, yes, pretty technical question, pretty technical answer. Thank you, Josep. Now from our friend, this I guess is more for Joan Cuscó. Our friend Martin Carnota is asking, what is our feeling, or Beach Soccer's worldwide feeling, in terms of
Iñaki, I don't know if you hear me, but I didn't hear the question. Can you repeat it?
Yeah, sure. Martin Carnota, as I was thinking,
I'm not sure I'm the only one that I don't hear the question. If I'm the only one and somebody heard and wants to answer instead of me, or Iñaki, you repeat it.
I'll try again. Do you hear me correct now? Okay.
I do.
So
only
let's
do the question. I don't hear.
Cross fingers. Martin Carnota is asking if we expect to have people in the stadiums or not.
Okay, great. Yes, Martin, that is something we would love. We would love to know, and we would love to have. So our expectation is to have information from governments. They protect themselves. They try to be very cautious. They give us information sometimes a little bit slowly. What we know, for example, from Portugal is that a percentage of crowd will be allowed. In Moscow, for example, we know that a relevant percentage of crowd will be allowed. So in many of the places, I think we will have restricted number, but open to public. I believe we will have people in, if not all, most of our events.
Thank you. Question from our friend Tai from Nigeria, who is asking, what are the plans for the World Winners Cup in this 2021? This is for you again, Joan.
Well, as we said, the World Winners is planned to be in October in Alanya, Turkey. Same plan and same idea. We hear a lot of teams that they want to come and they want to show up. I think the interest for World Winners is happening exactly like it happened with Euro Winners. It was increasingly of interest for teams every year, one year after the other. And I believe the fact that we didn't play in 2020 and that people is eager to play even more than ever, the number of teams that will register for World Winners Cup, it's going to be very relevant. And this is our faith. We think it's going to be a very special tournament.
Okay, thank you. Again, our friend Michal from Poland, who is asking his second question. This is for Josep. How many players can be registered in the World Cup qualifications?
This didn't change. It's 12 players for the FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup Qualifier Europe. But we will send accordingly with the invitation letter and with the regulations as well.
Good. Joan or Josep, you can choose. Joost Bolding is asking if we expect to have an event in Netherlands.
Not at present time, but we are seeing both in Holland and in Belgium, we are seeing a lot of progress. There is a very solid project for grassroots and clubs. So we have conversations. Not all the events are already in the calendar. This is important to understand. If you remember, for example, Mundialito is not in the calendar yet. We don't have enough information to share with you in a solid way that we talk about Mundialito. And there are other conversations that we are having all around the world to host events. For example, we have a signed contract with NEOM in Saudi, but the government decided that in 2021 there should not be happening together with other events, and we are working with them for 2022. So there are a long number of conversations, and Holland and Belgium are also in the list of these conversations of potential events that would happen in 21 or in 2022.
Thank you. We are having different questions referring the vaccine, asking if the vaccine will be needed, what will be depending on to play or not, if they have the vaccine or not. Well, we said in the beginning that it's a matter of government regulation, but I don't know, Joan, if you want to go further in that.
No, we will follow 100% the local authorities' regulations. This is basic for the good running of any event. From our side, we will not be asking for vaccination unless it's required by the local government. We haven't had any government that is talking about that for players. In some markets, due to the vaccination passport, they are talking about potential difference between fans allowed to enter stadiums with vaccination or without vaccination. But this is very complicated, and I hope we will not have to go on that. But that could be for fans. There is a potential. For players, I don't see this happening in such a short period where there is no equal number of vaccines distributed in all the markets. And I don't see we can refuse a team because their country did not provide them the vaccination, and instead allow another team that their country provided vaccination. In an ideal world, in 2022, we will all be vaccinated, and maybe by 22 there will be different regulations. But at present time, I'm very confident that this will not be the subject.
Thank you. We have more questions coming. One from our friend Vittorio Tradotti from Pavia Beach Club in Italy, who is asking if we consider to have a Mundialito of women, of clubs, and if we consider moving the World Winners' Cup to late December to have more availability of players.
It's a good question, and we know how much committed Pavia team is today, and they are working very hard. Happy to know that they are connected. For sure, everything we plan for men, we try to plan for women. This is a basic rule. If we do not do it, most of the times it's due to financials, not a lack of commitment or a lack of interest. So any competition that we do for men, our interest, beach soccer worldwide commitment is to do it with women, exactly the same. But again, we need to see our resources are very limited, our capability is limited, and we need to see how we make it happen. So there is a time frame that we need for this to happen. Moving World Winners' Cup to later in the year, at present time, not considering. I guess you are saying it because some of your players, they play football, and maybe you are expecting them to be on holidays or in off-season of football, and then willing to participate with them when they are not playing football. Something we will consider. We will consider, but there is a weather constraint, and unless we do this indoor or in another place in the region or in the world where we play in a different period, that is something I'm not saying it will not happen. I think it will not happen in 2021, but for future it could happen.
Good, thank you. We have also some questions regarding the European qualifier, asking for the venue. As we said before, it should be defined soon, but nothing that we can update on now. But we have a question from our friend Henry Hopesville, all the way from Solomon Islands, who is asking if we have any updates on the Oceania teams taking place in the World Cup.
This is for you, Josep, that you have been talking to OFC, but for me, it's just to send regards to our friends in Oceania, an area where we had so much such a great experience with Tahiti World Cup, and we missed that area a lot, and I send you my regards.
Yes, regarding the Ofc Qualifier, the actual situation is that they want to organize the event, but due to the COVID-19 situation, it's not easy. You know, the the borders are closed and there is not final decision. However, they are expecting to organize. However, it's pretty difficult to be organized. And then if they cannot organize, then it's Ofc that will decide which team will participate in the World Cup in Russia. So far, it's not a final decision, but they are expecting to organize, and this is the situation so far.
Okay, thanks a lot. Moving on, jumping from one confederation to another, Victor Vasquez is asking, what about the AFC teams?
Victor, good to hear from you. When in 2005, 2004, 2005, we brought the sport to FIFA, we did it because we believe this is football and it belongs to FIFA. Once you enter into FIFA, you need to respect FIFA's family. And the following layer after FIFA are the confederations. So we always work, Beach Soccer Worldwide always works respecting the confederation decisions, whether it is to involve us in the qualifier, whether it is any consideration. We respect their capacity to decide in their territory. And in this regard, AFC decided that they couldn't organize the Asian qualifier and that they will do a choice of the teams that will represent AFC in the World Cup. We hear some consideration. I know that in futsal there's been a conflict because the choice that on 8th of April AFC made has not been accepted by the futsal teams. There is a potential list for beach soccer. I cannot enter on that. I have to respect whether they consider only the last World Cup or they do the last 3 World Cups, or they consider the ranking, or they create another consideration. From our side, it's just respecting whatever AFC decides. Ideally, and we told AFC, we would like in future this not to happen, because the only fair choice of teams to participate in a World Cup is after a competition, a fair competition. And this is what we like. It hasn't happened. It's sad for the sport. It's been bad for the sport. It was bad for markets that they were already working in doing practices and trainings and things for their teams. And since they knew that there was no qualifier, they postponed their commitment with beach soccer. It's been a negative decision, but it was their choice and we respect it. And we are now waiting for them to tell us the 3 representatives from that region.
Thank you very much, Joan. Still in AFC Confederation, still in Asia, Diego Melo is asking if, from Saudi Arabia, right? He's asking if, apart from Dubai, we foresee any other competition in late 2021 in Middle East or that part of Asia.
Yeah. We as I said, we have this agreement with WAF, and we have an agreement for an event. It's looking for Jordan now, but it could happen any other place in the region. We also postponed NEOM. My interest, or our idea is to try to push NEOM to do the event in the first quarter of 2022 once the green light from government is there. But if not, then we will do in November. And there are conversations in other countries in the region that they want to do an event. I think the Middle East region in the overall has a very good interest, and there is enough teams to set up competitions, maybe also a specific competition for the region. There is a lot to do, but things are happening there, we are confident.
Okay, now let's move to Brazil. They are asking, Pedro Charana is asking if the qualifier of the CONMEBOL region is for sure happening those dates between 22nd and 30th of May, or if we foresee alterations.
Well, again, Josep has been in contact with CONMEBOL in the recent days. They confirmed the date, they confirmed the commitment and the event to happen. Said this, I think, Pedro, you are even more aware of the actual situation of COVID in the region. Numbers are not promising for the next couple of months. So are we considering that this date is 100%? As I said before, maybe it's one of the dates that we foresee it could move a little bit. But we are in constant contact with CONMEBOL, and as soon as this is 100% confirmed or changes, we will update to this group and communicate.
Thank you. Allow me not to move from Brazil because Brian Isler from the United States is asking if the club's event in Brazil will have a women's division.
Well, difficult challenge, and not now, but we take your consideration. It's a good point. We should think about having an option. We will work on it. At present time, my answer should be it's not planned, but we will see if we can allocate it. You have our commitment. We will do it.
Okay, and last question for the moment, coming from a friend who is asking if the matches will be broadcasted or could be followed online.
We have finished our contract with Mycujo, and we are now in contract with Iconic. As you see in the backdrop here, it's Iconic. We have faith of a new platform, this Iconic app. It's going to be ready soon, and it will be our live stream network. The question is, there going to be live stream? The answer is straight. Yes, there will be live stream of all these events. Is this live stream going to be one system or another? We will let you know. We are working for the best service possible to make sure that everybody can connect. And let me use this moment that I spoke about Iconic also to thank our partners a lot, because in 2020 it was easy to cancel all their contracts and all their association with us, and they didn't do it. They didn't do it because they knew how difficult it was also for us and for everybody, and they were committed to continue supporting beach soccer and beach soccer worldwide. And this only happens thanks to them. So I want to thank all of them.
Thank you very much. Just came one question, not from Facebook, but straight from WhatsApp, from one person that might ring a bell to all of you, who is Majer, who is asking, this maybe is more for you, Josep, if we have a date already planned for the draw of Euro Beach Soccer League, if there is, and the qualifier for the World Cup Europe stage.
Of course, that today or maximum tomorrow we will start to sending the invitation letters, and as soon we will put a deadline, and as soon as we we know how many teams we will have, you know, we will do the draw. We have to plan so far, but as soon as we know, we will communicate accordingly. But first of all, we will need to know how many teams, and we expect to have a lot of teams.
Okay, thank you. This is what we all expect. Thank you very much. Well, so far these were the questions asked by our friends, our Beach Soccer family on on Facebook. Of course, you can keep asking. We will answer all of them. Use all the official channels that you know, both email or social media channels, and we will be happy to answer them. I don't know if there is nothing else from the panel. That would be all from our side. I just want to send a huge thanks to all our beach soccer community for joining today. We have had people from many different countries. We noted down some of them from Colombia, Costa Rica, from Belgium, from Netherlands, from Iraq, from Poland, from Ukraine, from Nigeria, from Hungary, from Antigua, from Solomon Islands. It's great to see all that passion and all your commitment, and we thank you a lot for that. And we really hope to see you all very soon on the sun, which is where we belong. And again, thanks a lot. See you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.